I realize is that if anybody can throw you off course, you've already lost. If anybody can talk you out of what God told you to step into, you're already defeated. And that's why today I want to talk about being resolved to remain. I want to talk about what it really takes to win. I remember watching a video on YouTube, and it actually was Michael Jordan's Hall of Fame speech. Ironically, the speech was 23 minutes and 23 seconds. I don't know how you can time it down to that. It's a magic Mike moment. Um, Michael Jordan doing his thing. But I remember watching the Hall of Fame speech, and Jordan says he's rattling down, talking about all of his opponents and all of his detractors and would be antagonizers and opponents. And he said, I just want to thank you for giving me the motivation that I so desperately needed. I really want to appreciate that, because that motivation now gave him the inspiration. That motivation turned up his determination. It gave him that drive that said, for you to beat me, you're going to have to rip my heart out. You ain't going to be able to do that. Why? Because I've got an engine on the inside of me that refuses to lose. Got that engine. And that engine says, for me to do whatever it takes to win, here's what it's going to have to be. One is that I'm going to have to remain stoic. Stay stoic. If you're going to win in life, you're going to have to remain stoic. What is stoicism all about? That comes from the ancient Greeks, the Plato, Aristotle, Socrates era, and many of them practiced stoicism. That was the aspect of remaining resilient. It's keeping that poker face. It's not allowing the enemy or the opponent to throw you off your square, get you to act haphazard. They just can't read you. They can't read you based upon your mannerisms. They can't read you based upon your expressions. They can't read you based upon what it is, your countenance, but they can sure read your character. And that character says, I'm going to bounce back from a setback so that I can make impact. I'm going to bounce back from a setback by any means necessary. Why? Because I'm resolved to remain. I've resolved. Here's the thing. The resolving now is the resolution. This is what I have purposed in my heart that I'm going to do. I'm going to do this by any means necessary. I'm going to get the job done. Why? Because I have a mentality that says, if it's to be, it's up to me. I'm going to remain in my purpose. I'm going to remain in position. I'm going to remain in the particular place of where it is that I'm going to do, or where it is that I've been called to be. In order to remain, here's what I have to do. I have to maintain. What am I maintaining? I'm maintaining my disposition. I'm maintaining my composure. I'm maintaining my attitude, because if I have an attitude at all, it's an attitude of gratitude. I want to thank you for giving me the motivation that I so desperately needed. That's what that song said. I want to thank you for letting me be myself again. Because once again, I'm bouncing back from a setback. I am going to do whatever it takes to win by any means necessary. Got to stay up later, got to get up earlier, got to do the work that needs to be done, got to hit an extra 10 push-ups, got to study a little bit harder, got to apply yourself a little bit more. I'm maintaining that place of stoicism. That's the resilience. That's the place to where I will not crack. Why? Because I've cracked the code. There's another level to this as well. That is, we have to stay vigilant. We have to stay stoic. We also have to stay vigilant. Scripture says, the enemy goeth about as a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. It says, be sober, be vigilant. Vigilant means I got to be aware. I got to be aware. I got to know what's going on around me. I have to remain in position. I have to remain in place. I have to watch and pray. I have to turn up my level of discernment. Why is that? Because everybody who says that they are kin or friend may not necessarily be that at all. You will know a tree by the fruit that it bears, not by the shade that it casts. You will know a tree by the fruit that it bears. Watch people's actions. Watch people's disposition. Watch how people act, because a person can specifically be your friend in the flesh, but your enemy in the spirit. Everybody who says they're praying for you, sometimes they're praying on you. Next time somebody says, I'm praying for you, tell them to spell it. Is it P-R-A-Y or is it P-R-E-Y? I have to be vigilant. Vigilant says you just don't trust anybody and everybody. Vigilant says you eat the hay and spit out the stubble. Vigilant says I'm not going to be conformed, I'm going to be transformed by the renewing of my mind. Being vigilant says I'm going to be aware of my surroundings. I'm going to be aware of the people who are in conjunction to those surroundings as well. That's how being resilient, that's how being resolved to remain keeps you in a particular place and keeps you in position to move into a greater place of fruition. There's also another level to this. When we're talking about resolve to remain and doing whatever it takes to win, finding out what it takes to win. You're staying stoic, you're staying vigilant, but here's what you're also doing. You're also staying the course. Resolve to remain says I have to stay the course. I'm staying stoic. I'm staying vigilant, but I'm also staying the course. And staying the course says I'm not going to be moved. I'm not going to be moved by your attitude. I'm not going to be moved by your words. I'm not going to be moved by your disposition. Do you understand this? That sometimes people are bothered because you're unbothered. Yeah, they are. They're bothered because whatever they've said, whatever they've done, whatever they've tried to do did not move you. You're resilient. You're consistent. You're persistent. You are staying the course. And if anybody knows anything about me, listen, one thing about me is I kind of live up to what that credo and that motto of what MJ said at that Hall of Fame speech. He said, I just want to thank you for give me the motivation I so desperately needed. Somebody asked me, you're ambitious, you do this, you do that, you just don't quit, you always show up, you're all about accomplishing certain things. What drives you? I said, you know what? That's a great question. One of the greatest things that drives me is the fact that people didn't think I could do it. Yeah, simple as that. One of the greatest things that drives me, is the fact that people didn't think I was going to make it because they, shortchanged me or short circuited me or undervalued me or now saw me as the particular underdog. I love it. Greatest way for me to achieve, one of the greatest ways for me to achieve is for you to tell me that I can't do something. That puts a battery in my back. I don't care if I'm throwing something away and I'm balling up a piece of paper. I may look back at you and say, "You think I can make the shot?" No, I don't think you can make the shot. Thank you. That's going to be the cauldron right there to make me make that shot. Tell me something that I can't do, and I'm going to prove you wrong each and every single time. That's the drive. That's the motivation. That puts the battery in my back. Call it whatever it is that you will. You got to find what it is for you that's going to cause you to stay the course. Most people who know me know that I'm one of the most competitive people that they'll ever meet. You can trump it up to many of the setbacks that I've had, having to beat cancer, having overcome that, probably being seen as the least likely to succeed by many people who I grew up with. But tooth and nail, I'm going to go for it by any means necessary. I've got a raging, blazing fire on the inside of me that is not going to quit. It's not going to give up. It's not going to throw in the towel. It's going to go after it by any means necessary. Why? Because I've resolved to remain. I want you to think about that. What is going to cause you to resolve to remain? Do you have that unquenchable competitive fire on the inside of you? Do you have that drive by any means necessary? Do you have that vision? What is it that illuminates and lightens your soul? What is it that wakes you up in the morning without an alarm clock? What is it that says, you know what, I'm going to go after this by any means necessary? Tell me I can't do it. Come what may, rain, sleet, hell, or snow. I've got the mentality to say, let's go. I'm not going to quit. Because if I quit on me. If I quit on the promise God told me. If I quit on my journey. If I quit on what it is that I said I was going to hold myself to. I'm going to quit quitting, if anything. That's what you got to do. Quit quitting and stop stopping. Only person who is in your way is you. It's not a hater. It's not a detractor. Get out of your own way and be resolved to remain. Get out of your own way, and here it is. Win. Get out of your own way and win. To say all I do is win, 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 no matter what. I'm going to another level because I have resolved to remain. I want you to remain resilient, persistent, and determined by any means necessary. And my community is going to empower you to do that. It's theeaglesacademy.com. I want you to join it. I want you to enroll now in my academy where I'm coaching, I'm teaching, I'm training, I'm mentoring you to really live that best life, that transformative life, the life of your dreams, the life that creates legacy, the life that you know that you were called to live, the life that you know somebody's waiting for you to become who you are so they can become who they're supposed to be. That asks the question, how much longer will you make them wait? To where somebody says, where have you been all my life? Yeah, I've needed your wisdom. I've needed your greatness. I've needed what it is that you can provide. My academy is going to unlock that door when you unlock our digital door. Go there right now. Tap the Join Now button, theeaglesacademy.com. When you get there, tap the Join Now button, fill out the form. I guarantee you're going to be transformed. It's time to do more. It's time to become more. It's time to learn more. It's time, to get more and gain more. And I want to increase your ideas, your impact, and your influence. Sign up, register, enroll now, theeaglesacademy.com. I'll see your face in our digital space. I know you were transformed by this conversation. Drop a Cash App, drop a love gift, drop a love donation. Your support helps me to continue to do the work, not just online, but also offline. I'm coaching, I'm teaching, I'm training, I'm mentoring people. I am giving back. I'm serving the community. I'm doing so much more. I'm in the school system. I'm mentoring our young brothers, especially. Your gift, you giving, helps me to give back in a greater way. Once again, you can definitely sow. You can give a love gift. You can give a donation on Cash App, $Dr. Eddie Ministries, on PayPal, info@EddieConnor.com, and then even on Zelle, EddieConnorJr @gmail.com. Links in the chat, links in the description of this video for how and where to give. Listen, family, I appreciate your support by any means necessary. I appreciate you, of course, even signing up for my academy, and then even, of course, locking in, staying locked in, and viewing our show, viewing the show today. Let me know what you thought about the show in the comments below. Yeah, hit that thumbs up button, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I've been growing your greatness. Help me grow our channel. As you do that, make sure that you follow me on all social sites, EddieConnorJr, EddieConnorJr. I appreciate all of your love. I appreciate your support. Let me know what you think about the show in the comments below. 1, 2, 3, go. That's what I got to do. I got to go. Family, is yours truly, Dr. Eddie, your main man, 100 grand, your brother. And I mean that. From another mother. Family has been fun, but brother got to run. So I want you to know it's been a privilege and a pleasure, a treat and a treasure, a joy beyond measure. But I want you, yes, you, to remember to keep the faith and believe it's going to be bigger, better, brighter. Peace and a whole lot of love, family. Keep soaring higher. I want you to go ahead and get your hands on my new book, Know Your No. It's all about how to build healthy boundaries and love without losing yourself. Boundaries are not limitations. Boundaries are for liberation. You're going to find a way to unbox yourself. You're going to find a way to really love yourself and to move into a place of emotional regulation, to stand your ground, to draw a line in the sand, stand 10 toes down on it. Don't do the electric slide. Don't moonwalk away from it, but really stand wholeheartedly down on what it is that you say. It's for your protection. It's for your self-care. Moves you into a greater place of self-awareness and emotional regulation, and developing your mental health and creating boundaries so that you can abound to a new and a greater level. Go right now to get a signed copy at EddieConnor.com. EddieConnor.com. And then, of course, you can also get it on Amazon. Go and get the book right now.